I got a notification on my phone that there's a Cars and Coffee tomorrow in Marietta, Santa Rosa Mall. And I don't know if I'm gonna go for sure, but I figured if I am, I probably need to wash the car. Granted, we've made some progress in here and I got rid of the boxes. And so we've consolidated our Christmas stuff into these clear bins, which I got to tell you guys, we just noticed these clear bins were available, but we had these black bins for the longest. And it's just like, genius. Why did we not have clear bins before? It's just like from a organization perspective, we just loaded it up with Christmas stuff. And now it's easier to figure out maybe what bin what we want is in versus these where, I got to put labels on it. It says car cleaning supplies. I don't know. Maybe some people prefer the color or the privacy of black versus clear. I got rid of the boxes that were here as I've been working diligently here, seemingly. And I got to finish. It'll actually make sense here in a second. I got to finish putting together. There's my kid's old bed. Got to get rid of that. But I got to finish putting this umbrella together. We got this LED umbrella from Costco when we were in Nashville. Yeah, we got that the other day. And so I started putting it together and it's almost complete, but the base needs sand. So I didn't know that when I started. I should have thought about that, but hindsight. So we had to end up getting sand from Home Depot. And so those were the big boxes that were sitting in the garage. I got rid of those. I've got more space now. I feel easier to move around in here. And I've got 4 bags of sand. So like I said, it would make sense. One of the boxes was my kid's bed. I put that together. That probably took like 3 hours to build this IKEA lifting bed that she really wanted, but wasn't terrible. It was just very time consuming and I wanted to take my time, make sure you don't mess up any of the cheap particle MDF board and, because to get it swapped out or get it repaired or replaced, like we're going back to Atlanta and that was not in the cards. So it went off without a hitch. She's happy, we're happy. And now I've got some space here in the garage to begin putting together this pressure washer car wash setup that I've been anxiously awaiting. Every part and every piece. We'll put it over here on this deep freezer. That'd be my workstation. Thought about getting a Husky toolbox for a workstation table. I think that's like probably about $1,000, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it, not yet. And I also don't know exactly if I want to, and more importantly, where I would even put it. So there's that. You guys probably can't really tell, but I may pull the car out and get it on camera so you could at least try to show you how clean the car is for how long it's been since it's been washed, whether it is the PPF and or the ceramic coating on it. The car is extremely clean. And I think that the only giveaway would be the wheels and brake dust. So if I had carbon ceramics, so here's the deal. If you do PPF and or ceramic coating, you put ceramic coating on your wheels and you've got ceramic brakes, you may not have to wash, and you don't drive in the rain, you may not have to wash your car for a month. I haven't driven it in the rain, but I'm sure if I did, that's when it would really get really, really dirty. And actually, we'll do a little experiment with the first wash, I guess, and see how clean we can get this car by just rinsing it off and see how well these coatings perform. I'm gonna have to do this later on because right now it's almost 10 a.m. So time is not necessarily on my side, but it's almost 10 a.m. and I've got lunch. We got plans for lunch at noon. We're gonna hit up that beach camp again. I think it's because they have golden tea and my neighbor really likes golden tea. So we're going to beach camp again for lunch and for golden tea. And it's already, you know, I'm running out of time, but it's also hot as balls, which is in part why I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to go to the Cars and Coffee tomorrow because it could be so freaking hot, as well as washing this car will have to either happen late this evening or early tomorrow morning. But I don't necessarily want to subject my neighbors to whatever sound this is going to produce, you know, before the sun comes up. So if I wash the car, it may have to be this evening when it cools off some. So I'm going to take these, do a little unboxing here, but we're going to chat about how I almost bought a Ferrari. And this was years ago. And I was considering getting a 355. I was considering getting a 430. And I hadn't quite considered a 458. There is a 488 over here that I saw the other day. Similar color to my car that I really wanted to try to capture and get on camera and do a little side-by-side comparison. But the day that I saw it, I wasn't in my car. And now I haven't seen it again since. So I'm just assuming that this just screws in like that. I don't even know if there's instructions included with this. I don't even know if there's instructions. Oh, here it is. No electricity needed. Wash anywhere. Sorry for the glare. Continue spray. So we got 1 large, easy to grasp knob for quick and effortless pumping. 2 O-ring gasket. Creates airtight seal. 3 locking trigger. Okay, so this is just pointing out what's here. So I guess 50 ounce capacity. You can use it with all sorts of stuff. Yeah, there's no instructions in here. I guess I could find them online if I needed it, but I'm just gonna assume fill it, pump it, spray it. Fill it, pump it. That's a lock, okay. Should be pretty simple. So I almost bought a Ferrari and I was always a car person. I really like cars, cool cars. And I thought about it and I said, you know, I think owning a Ferrari or driving a Ferrari would be, you feel some kind of way. Now, granted, this was back in like 2015, 2016 time-ish, I think. And I think that now, today, 2025, cars are different. Supercars are different. Ferraris are different. Lambos are different. This one comes with a warranty card. And I also don't live in Atlanta, which, you know, I think Atlanta's the type of place where you can kind of get away with a lot of different shit. But where I live now, I see more Ferraris here on a daily basis than I have before in Atlanta. But I always felt like some type of way. I felt like if I had a Ferrari and I went to the gas station, so I was at Quick Trip, I was at QT, and this one's got instructions, and someone were to see me there, they would probably be reluctant to approach and have a conversation because of it being a Ferrari. This is just my assumption. These are towels. I don't need these right now. That's just how I feel. Whereas a 355 was going to cost me 70 grand at the time, not including annual engine drops. That was going to be expensive. And we'll see how bad the damage is from this box here, if any. Home Depot is going to be on the hook for that. So that was that. And then a 430, I was looking at like 110 to 120 at the time for a 430. And I'm like, I thought it was kind of crazy because I felt like people would feel a certain type of way about it because of the badge. And I've always typically had cars that looked more expensive than they were. And so if people see the badge at the gas station, they're going to be less likely to want to engage in conversation because they feel some type of way because it's a freaking Ferrari, you know? But I'm like, it's an 01 or 02 or whatever year the 430 was going to be or whatever. So this, I guess this is a handle for the pressure washer. I'll put that on. And then they give you their hose, which is like 20 foot maybe. It includes a flex hose, but I've honestly forgot how long this hose was, but maybe it's 20 foot, maybe it's 30 foot, maybe at most. And these nozzles and this spray bottle and this nozzle and this gun. But none of that will be used because I've got, in my opinion, far better, superior options to choose from here. And so I just felt like the Ferrari was just unapproachable. And it wasn't like a cool person's car at the time. Maybe a little bit now still too, but that's neither here nor there. Because I'm like looking at it from the perspective of, I could have bought a damn King Ranch F250 that cost more than a Ferrari 430 at the time. You know, there's so many vehicles out there that are far more expensive, but they don't carry the same stigma, I guess. And I feel like the C8 Z06 falls into this category, and the C8 Z06 is super approachable, even though it's Ferrari level. It's Ferrari territory. And yeah, you know, if you're a C8 Z06 hater, you know, you're not going to like what I have to say. You know, if you're a Ferrari fanboy, you're not going to like what I have to say. But so be it. And the C8 Z06, in my opinion, it literally, like, it starts conversations and people are so happy. So many people just want me to rev it. And it just feels comfortable. Like, they don't ask Ferraris to rev. I don't think they do. I don't know. But it's just like, of all walks of like ages, kids, adults, it's just like, man, that's a cool car. I don't even know what, I think a lot of people don't even know what it is. I think a lot of people don't know what it is. They just like the way it looks and the way it sounds. This actually kind of started from a YouTube video that I saw. So I got these quick connects. I need to put these quick connects on this pressure washer hose. I need to put these quick connects on the pressure washer hose. And then I need to put quick connects on my garden hose. And so we got some instructions here. And so I saw this video. I'll see if I can find it and share it with you guys. I kind of need some scissors. I felt like I had scissors out here somewhere. Ah, yes. I saw this video and this guy was driving. Like, I'm slightly more organized now, but I still got a lot of work to do when it comes to organizing the garage and tools, but way better than I have been for a while, because we were in an apartment and we just moved and I just kind of like threw everything in the garage and was like, I'm not turning no wrenches. But here, since we moved to a house, things have changed. But this guy was driving this Ferrari, or La Ferrari, and it got to one part of the video and it was a shot from behind. And you could see the engine and all that stuff. And I was like, no, actually, I think there was a shot from the side and you could see the mirrors, and then there was a shot from behind and you could see the engine. And I was like, I'm really getting some C8 vibes back here. And it got me thinking. It's like the C8 Z06 is actually, and normally compared to a 458, but really should probably be compared to a LaFerrari. And regardless, again, if you're a Ferrari fanboy, you're a C8 Z06 hater, you're not gonna like what I have to say. But when you think about what you get from a C8 Z06 for the price in comparison to what a LaFerrari costs, what would you get if a C8 Z06 costs as much as a LaFerrari? Can you imagine the performance that you would get? Can you imagine that? All right, I got to figure out which one goes with which one. So the garden hose, this is the garden hose. I think those two are the garden hose. Are these the same? Those are... So it says it's got one garden hose quick connect, two female M22s, two 3/8 female quick connects, and a bonus garden hose adapter. I'm not sure why I have a bonus garden hose adapter, unless they're just... Unless it's just so you can have more than one garden hose. It says this goes on the pressure washer pump inlet, which would be back there, okay? Yeah, so it's like, if a LaFerrari is $1 million, and you know, according to the internet, you know, you can't sell C8 Z06s, and they are $100,000. We'll just joke and say they're $100,000. Like, if that's the case, what would you get if a C8 Z06 was 10 times the price, coming in at $1 million, and 10 times the performance? You see what I'm saying? Now, obviously, that's not how things work, okay? It's not how things work. And contrary to some beliefs, the more you spend doesn't necessarily mean the more performance or the faster the car will be. I think somebody said, you know, well, a 911 Turbo S is definitely going to be faster than a Z06 because it costs more money, which has got to be one of the dumbest things that I've ever heard and most uninformed statements of just pure emotion, if anything, if I could describe it. And, you know, case in point, hell, BMW is notorious, BMW. But, you know, GM's fallen into this category too with some of their underrated horsepower, torque, and quarter mile time numbers and Nürburgring times that we're waiting on. But, you know, there's some inexpensive cars out there, or lower priced cars that definitely move. They'll scoot. They're fast. Okay. And I don't know if there's too much. Is there a thing of too much Teflon tape? I guess we're about to find out. But, you know, I watched a U-Drag the other day, and compare the price of a C8 Z06 and the price of a Maserati MC20, and then tell me that the MC20 should be faster because it costs more, only to realize that it's not. It's a good looking car, but the price is irrelevant when it comes to speed and performance, which it lacks in comparison to a C8 Z06. I'm not saying like it's a slow or a slouch or anything like that, but one of them is clearly faster than the other. So we got a good amount of Teflon tape on there, but it actually went in. It actually went in. I don't want any leaks. I want this to be a really nice process we have here. All right, we're on there pretty good. See how that does. That MC20, I actually saw one riding around, and I thought it was an SF90 from the way the headlights looked. Some striking similarities there. All right, so these go on here, the pressure washer hose, I think. Okay, these go on the pressure washer hose. And so I saw that MC20 coming. Joker was clean, don't get me wrong. But the headlights really resemble the SF90 LED pattern coming at you. But then after it passed, I kind of thought about it and I was like, man, an MC20 is kind of like the Italian version of Ford GT. You know, you have this seemingly cool looking car with seemingly very boring engine, being a V6 turbo or V6 twin turbo, one or the other. I saw somebody's post. I don't remember who it was who was comparing it, but it was like, you know, do you buy a Lotus Emira with a Toyota engine or do you buy a Lotus Emira with an AMG Mercedes engine? Cool looking car, but kind of boring engines, you know? I'm definitely going to have to Google, is there such a thing as, or I have to ask Grok, is there such a thing as too much Teflon tape? Maybe the answer is yes. Once you realize that you've run out and you can't finish doing what you were trying to do. So I'll put this one on and then I'll put the other one on and then I'll break out the tools and tighten, clamp down. That one went on really good. But this is the Teflon tape that I got with, it came with this nozzle here. So I'm not entirely sure why, but because that's got a quick connect on it. We're going to use it. And actually, now that I think about it, I've got more Teflon tape. Because I had to swap out a shower head the other day. My wife did not like the shower head that the house had when we bought it. So, yeah, you know how that goes. Really excited about this because I think this is going to be a really cool setup, but I also think it's going to be nice to just be able to get set up in seconds for a car wash, adding to the enjoyment and taking away from the unenjoyment of like lugging out a bunch of shit, connecting a bunch of shit. Nah, this should be simple and easy of just some quick connects, quick disconnects, rinse, wash, wash, rinse, repeat. All right. So those actually got pretty snug on their own. I don't even know if I really needed to use the vice grips or pliers or whatever size wrench that would have been. Maybe like a 23, maybe, I don't know. And they got pretty tight, pretty snug. And so now I need the pressure washer inlet. This, let's see here. Yeah, so we got pressure washer inlet. And then it says pressure washer trigger handle, which, oh, okay. Nope. Yeah, this one's already. Yeah, this one's already got it on there, so I won't need this one unless I get a new handle or if I wanted to use one that came with it or something like that. I won't need that. So I just need to put this. Yeah, that MC20 is just a glorified Ford GT. That's all it is. But we can't help but compare, right? And there was another comparison that I came across, and it was Wheeler. And he posted up this community post with him at the drag strip with his ZR1 and some other supercars. There with him. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that that was the correct thread pattern and not like some reverse thread or something, as I completely mucked up this Teflon tape here. But, you know, Wheeler, he posted this community post and he's got a Tesla Model S. He's got a Lamborghini Revuelto. He's got his ZR1, which this is terrible Teflon tape job, but it should still work the same. He's got his ZR1. He had a McLaren 720 or 750. I'm not really sure. And last but not least, a Porsche 911. But like I said, we can't help but compare, right? But I got to tell you guys, that 911 looked so out of place. And I told you guys I considered buying one just because I thought it was the natural progression. But I think it was more of a status thing than anything and not a true desire or enthusiast perspective. I think a 718 is the better car. I think the 718 is the better car. Better looking. If they would have, you know, they can't cannibalize themselves, so they can't make the 718 better intentionally than the 911. But they could. But instead, Porsche does Porsche things. And Porsche may be like, Kevin, you don't know what you're doing with this Teflon tape. But we can't help but compare. And I think that the 911, the 992, I mean, if I bought one, I'd buy a GT3. If I bought one, I would go buy a GT3. And since I consider my Z06 to be touring with this low profile wing, I think I would get a regular GT3 with the big wang on the back. But looking at it directly next to a 720 or 750 McLaren leaves a lot to be desired. Looking at it next to a ZR1, a lot to be desired. Next to a Revuelto. You know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But even the Tesla looked better, in my opinion. And there we go. Ta-da. And the Tesla looked better, in my opinion. And I saw a thumbnail for a 992 GTS. And I swear the Dot 2 front end update refresh, I think it's really boring. I think it's really boring. And I think it's ugly, actually. I think they fucked up. Well, that one's 11 something. This one's 37. What's the price per? This is 58 cents an ounce.
This is 75, but this is different.
This is to use with foam cannon or bucket. Will the other one go with foam cannon?
Nar.
But do you have a foam cannon?
Yeah.
Oh, high foam cleansing wash, intense foam cleansing wash. It doesn't say if you can use it in foam cannon, but this one specifies that's what it's for.
It says right here. It doesn't say it?
Intense foam cleansing action.
All right. Tire brush. Tar. Nar.
What does that mean?
They just charge you more money.
For on ceramic coated cars?
They just charge you more goddamn money. He left her ass 200 miles. So you got tire kicker, extra shiny tire shine, dry to touch. And then you got wet look tire shine, dripping wet, but it doesn't say dry to touch. So we're gonna go dry to touch. Nar.
You'd be upset if it was a girl. Dry to touch. You touch and it gets all done.
See, they got some hose in here. You got some hose in this house? Look at this shit. Oh, I thought this was $25. It says 25, but it's Armor All. It's 50. I was like, yo, for $25?
That's really good.
But it's
We're gonna get
$50.
this too for me for the inside of the car.
I already got that
Where?
in the garage.
You have this one?
I got that one. No hose. I just have to use the hose we got. Use my old hose. I think this is it. I don't think they have hose. You're never going to get a quiet getaway in a C806. And so E-Ray owners with stealth mode or whatever you call it definitely have a leg up and a win in that category. I think we got good timing right now because the sun, I got some shade here in the driveway, so this works out. And I think we're ready. I think I got everything put together and set up to attempt this first wash. And, you know, the internet trolls who love to hate on C806 and supercar labels, well, I got to tell you guys, I am convinced that this is the better car, especially for the money. So there's that. And I did want to talk a little bit about the wannabe debate, whatever that may be. The C806 wants to be a supercar. The C806 wants to be a Ferrari. The C806 wants to be whatever some folks may argue and say that it wants to be, that it's not. Granted, there's no definitive way to specifically and accurately say the C806 is a supercar. It is you can't say that because there's no real answer for what a supercar is, was, or ever really will be. You know, it's all subjective, based on opinion, based on emotion, maybe based on comparison. That might be the best way to go about this. Let's compare my Chevy, because it's just that, a Chevy. It's not a considered high-end manufacturer, which really, if you think about it, high-end manufacturer just means they charge you more money. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's higher quality or higher performance or more luxury necessarily. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hold its value well or appreciate, or in fact, really, these higher brands, they end up dropping in depreciation more and faster than others because of that very reason, is how much they cost to begin with and how poorly they are made and how much of a maintenance and repair nightmare they can be. But again, it's just a Chevy. It's just a Corvette. It's not a supercar. Hey, look, that's fine. That's okay. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. And since you're here, I'm going to give you mine. And so my Chevy is a Chevy is a Chevy. That's pretty much it. Whereas on the flip side, a Porsche is a Bentley, is a Volkswagen. And so buying anything, if you think about it, more than a Volkswagen is just wasting money, right? You're just pissing that shit away. And I found this TikTok reel or Instagram or something. I don't remember where I found it. Maybe it was on YouTube. But it was a really good comparison of a Bentley Bentayga, I think, a Porsche Cayenne, and a Volkswagen something. I don't even know what it was. But they're all the same vehicle. There's really no difference besides the badge, maybe an engine option, and the price. And in theory, as you go up in badge and price, you go down in reliability and up in maintenance and repair costs and down in resale value. If you think about it from a depreciation perspective of dollars and percentages, you're going to lose on the Porsche Cayenne more than you're going to lose on the Volkswagen, and even more so if you have the Bentley, lose more than had you got the Porsche, had you got the Volkswagen. But hey, it's just money, right? I think the best part about the C8, and in my case, the C806, is that I'm already at the bottom for the most part. You know, the lowest I could go would be a C8 Stingray and a 1LT. But from a brand perspective, I'm already at the bottom. I can't go any lower. There's nothing lower than Chevrolet that GM produces. So I'm not necessarily spending more money to get the same or worse, less quality product. So that's a win in my book. And yeah, in the GM hierarchy, I'm already at the lowest case scenario. And I honestly think that the C8 Z06 is in fact the best car money can buy right now for me. Now, I want to kind of talk about, pick up where we left off earlier. And we were talking about ugly. And I guess, it's subjective, and understand the context in which I'm referring to 911s as being ugly. But I will say that the new Lexus LFA, ugly. New LFA is ugly. I'm gonna run this hose. I wanted a shorter hose, but I'm gonna have some excess here with this 50 footer. But we are all quick connected up. And so pressure washer's plugged in to the wall. Quick connect Hosezilla, Flexzilla, and quick connect this gun. Actually, I say quick connect the gun, but I need to set up the foam cannon. But I would say so far, connecting the hose and connecting the pressure washer, I mean, we're under 30 seconds to get to this point here. Now, this is a test run. We're gonna check for leaks and all that good stuff. And then I hope to determine the mounting location for like a permanent mount inside the garage. And I'll be happy with that. So I'm gonna run this McKillen foam cannon, which I gotta put this hose in here. I've seen some videos and some of these hoses have like weights at the bottom for a better pickup, but this one doesn't have a weight, but it had good reviews. So we'll see how well it performs. We're going to use this chemical guys, citrus wash and gloss. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test it. And I'm not going to clean the wheels with the brake buster because we were driving the car pretty hard earlier and I don't want the wheels to be too hot. It's a warning not to use it when the wheels are too hot. So this is definitely going to be a test to see how well the ceramic coating performs on the wheels. But yeah, speaking of ugly, a friend of mine was telling me that the new LFA, there's a new Lexus LFA coming out that we should expect. And I was joking at the time saying, is BMW going to build it? I was shooting for right there, kind of halfway up. That first notch, I don't know if you guys can see it, is 200 milliliters. I was trying to hit just halfway, and that should be roughly 2 ounces. Now I just need some warm water. It says fill this up with warm water. And I was joking about BMW making this new LFA since BMW made the new Supra. And it was just a joke. But then I saw a Supercar Blondie video pop up. Tankless water heater, folks. Always hot for the most part. We gotta get some of this cold out the line. But it should heat up pretty quick. You got a house with multiple women in it taking long ass showers, you want a tankless water heater. This is probably almost the furthest away from the tank as we can possibly get besides the spigot outside, but that's not set to hot, so there's that. But Supercar Blondie, she's reviewing this new LFA, sort of, and I was joking about BMW making it.
This is the LFA successor. Look at this beast. How beautiful is it? It's all based on aerodynamics here, this design. Look at the air coming in the front out here, up over the car. Now you've got a double bubble roof. Look at this. So you've got room to wear your helmet inside. It's going to be road legal, don't worry. After 10 years, they've revealed that they're going to make a brand new LFA. Look at these. Look at these back tail lights. How cool is this? Beautiful. Now, no exhaust pipes. It's going to be fully electric. 0 to 100 in just over 2 seconds, and the range is going to be about 700 kilometers.
But to my surprise, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the internet, we were unpleasantly surprised to see that Lexus or Toyota's choice in powertrain is everything that I would say an LFA owner doesn't want. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be real here, folks. Why would anyone want an LFA? It's for that glorious V10. And what did they do? Lo and behold, in their infinite wisdom, decided to make this thing a freaking EV. Unreal. Unreal. And then to call it an LFA, or maybe an LFR. I'm not really sure what they're going to call it. I think that's absolutely the dumbest thing you could possibly do. All right, we're going to see if this tripod holds up. It doesn't fall over. This pine straw here is not giving me a warm and fuzzy. But apparently the internet agrees with me. I'm not the only one who thinks this is a stupid idea, because the comment section on Supercar Blondie's video just pretty much agrees with everything that I'm saying here about this electric powertrain. What a terrible idea. Like, who? I don't know how these ideas get past the board. Like, who thinks that these are great ideas? Or perhaps maybe the people who are making these decisions are not, they're not car people. All right, they're not car people. So this is the first time unraveling this, and it's in some sort of like knot here, I guess for storage and transport. So I'll do it like this the first time, and then hopefully future car washes won't need this level of dedication. It's supposed to be a no kink. I don't know if this counts as kink. This is just some weird packaging. Started to cry, but then remembered There we go. There we go. Let's see how easy, painless, or painful this is going to be. Got a little drip, a little drizzle coming out the spigot. Not bad. No leaks at the pressure washer. And now we'll turn it on. Windy, so I'm getting phoned. There might be a little bit of air in the lines. There might be a little air in the lines. But this is why I opted for the 50-foot. Because I feel like if I can get this hose out as far as I can, then I never have to move the pressure washer. Because to get all the way around the car is less than 50 feet. You see what I'm saying? But we might need more foam. Oh yeah, Might need more foam. I had the foam cranked up to the max, so it ran through it pretty quick. But the foam was also not full because it was like half foam, half water. So this time I put the foam, I put more soap, but I overflowed it with water. So I think 50 foot's a good length on the hose. We got better coverage on the foam. There's a few spots I missed, like down there. So I need to aim better inside the door there. But that's what we're looking like on coverage. So far. We're in the shade, so that's a plus. I don't want it to sit too long, nor do I think it really needs to. I am curious as to how this gun works without the foam cannon, which it doesn't. Very weak stream. I guess I should probably check the pressure coming out of my hose. See how much pressure I got. And actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use up all this soap. Yeah, this way, next time I'll have a empty container to start from to fill up. And I might actually be able to get away with less soap. So now what I have is this 40-degree rinse nozzle. I got this 40-degree rinse. We'll see how well this works out. Oh, okay. No lie, it doesn't feel very strong, but it is definitely effective. You know, especially from the perspective of safety, I don't feel like this is too much pressure. Could it use a little bit more? Absolutely. Will it work for what I'm trying to do? Yes. Nice and gentle. I have to learn the angles of this car so I don't end up re-soaping with the rinse. The amount of pressure that's coming out, I don't think it's going to be much water inside the engine bay. That's a plus. I may opt for the wand, a longer wand for rinsing. The back wheels weren't that bad. Majority of your stopping is going to come from the front anyway, I would assume. I was actually surprised to find out that the rear rotors are roughly the same size as the front rotors. But then again, it's not that surprising considering the rear wheels are bigger than the front wheels, so kind of makes sense, right? With the water on the car, in some of these wet spots, you can really see certain areas where the PPF isn't 100% contacting the paint. Very subtle. It looks like it's wet, but it never dries. Like right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks like it's wet, but it never dries. That's just like bubbles in the PPF. So it's not 100%. But I'm sure if I just like ran over it with like a credit card or a squeegee or something, it would fill in that gap, that crease. And for POV car washes, I may have to go grab me my GoPro, put it on my head instead of holding my phone, this tripod. But this gun and this hose does make it pretty easy to manage. So that's a plus. You know, I had an old Sunjo set up in Atlanta that was nowhere near as easy as this. So I'm pleased with this. And the quick connects. I'm already not dreading washing this car again. Which this is actually a pretty big car. Pretty big car to wash. The water's beating off pretty damn good between the hydrophobic properties of the PPF and the ceramic coating that was applied. Windshield and glass and windows, everything. ceramic coated. But again, I don't really think that the car was that dirty. It was really the wheels. That was a dead giveaway. And so with this wash, we're just gonna basically get a touchless wash. The only touch will be drying, which I may and choose to get me a blower. Maybe. Battery powered tools have come a long way, so I guess I'll give in and get one and trust that the battery will last for at least a year. I think the wheels actually turned out pretty good, getting cleaned. Here we are, folks. A damp, wet result so far. And no leaks. No leaks. No leaks. Dare I say no leaks? Just a regular basic little white washer. Okay, I ain't mad. Break out the drying towel. Shit. If I can wash this car touchless every time. So the towels that I ordered comes two in the pack, and they are 24 by 35, so roughly 2 by 3, and they're supposed to be really absorbent. There is a tag. There's a tag on the back here, but it's on the back, so that's a plus. But I opened it up and it says they included a free mini drying towel. So you get two 24 36s and one little tiny detail towel. And I don't know where the camera's really looking at right now, but maybe you guys can see how well this is absorbing this water, which I think is actually doing a pretty damn good job. Now is the time when I realize how intricate the front grille is and how many places there are for water to hide. So, needless to say, yes, a battery powered blower is in my future. It's getting pretty heavy, pretty damp. The windows are okay. A few streaks here and there. But the towel still soaking up this water pretty damn good. Still soaking up this water pretty damn freaking good. The back is getting darker. I guess the pockets that are filling up. But I don't necessarily feel like I need to wring it out just yet. So far, we've dried the front of the car. And the passenger side. and I'll wring it out now. Now, there's not much to come out. So I don't even know how this works. We'll see if it dries the rest of the car, I guess. Not bad. So what I think I'm gonna do is finish touching this whole car with this towel. And then I'll come back with the second towel and get whatever's left. Which future drying will be, okay, got some water coming out that time. Air dry with a blower and then touch up with one of these and we should be good to go. Okay, let's put more water on it. Let's put more water on it. So, definitely need a new towel. But I consider this to be like the heavy water. So we get this off. And then come back with a new towel. Oh, let's see what it looks like in here. I ain't gonna lie, it was probably gonna be okay had I not opened it. And then I opened it and a little bit of water started dripping in. So I'm gonna leave that for now. Actually, no, I got some soap up here and shit I need to get. So next time I'll just leave it and I'll probably just come back once it's dry and just hit it with like a engine bay dry or detailing. Yeah, but this new towel is like, yeah, I'm ready to go to work. All right, guys. I ain't mad about it. I ain't mad about it. Maybe get me, like I said, get that wand for rinsing and get me a battery-powered blower for drying. And I might be in business. I know they make covers for the back to keep water out when you're washing it. And then this would have been entirely dry. But the amount of water that's back here, really, I don't think it's that big a deal to not have used any covers. Yeah. And wheels are looking pretty good. They could be better if I would have done the brake buster. I'll have to do it next time with the brake buster and compare. And then after that, get them all good and dirty again. Some hard stops, hard acceleration, hard stops, and see how it works with brake buster and putting some friction on them with a mitt. The barrels are pretty clean, so I'm not gonna stress myself about getting that barrel tool out and getting inside there. But I'm glad I got this done. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. especially seeing how the shade hits the driveway. And so I could see myself in the future getting a chair and sitting down and spending some time with these wheels when I need to. That one's got a little chip on it. Get some touch-up paint or something. Spend some time on these wheels when I need to. I actually found a company, MRR, who makes wheels similar to these. And I was thinking about ordering a set for the back with a lower offset and foregoing spacers, but that won't be anytime soon. But this is it. Pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty painless. I'm pretty happy. And so future washes, I wouldn't mind going a little bit greater detail, spending more time on the wheels. I'll have a chair. I'll swap out the drying towels for electric blower. Maybe do a few more washing talks with you guys. I don't want to try to duplicate Obsessed Garage, but there's a lot that I want to share and tell you guys.
It was always me versus me. It was never me versus you. It's understood. Get up, had to beat those eyes. Got up and I beat those eyes. It's understood. It was always me versus me. It was never me versus you. And now I'm good. Wake up and I do my part. Wake up and I do my job. Just how I should. It was always me versus me. It was never me versus you. It's understood. Get up, had to beat those eyes. Got up and I beat those eyes. It's understood. It was always me versus me. It was never me versus you. And now I'm good. Wake up and I do my part. Wake up and I do my job. Just how I should.
Something else I need to invest in is a little vacuum cleaner. Clean out the inside, floor mats, little crevices. I should have sprayed this. I just shut the water off. I should have turned it off sooner. Water my plants here. Hope she ain't trying to get her car washed. I'm not washing that. I guess I could. I need that wand for sure to get on that roof. So I just spray this until you hear that. And then I shut it off. And then when I disconnect it, we should be, see that? Minimal. Minimal. No thanks. No thanks.
You got done already?
Yeah.
Okay, didn't even get. I was expecting water up all the way down into the cul-de-sac and everything.
Nah.
You look shiny.
You could almost get away with a wash in the garage for as little as this really sprays.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? As little as it sprays.
I mean, it's good for
Okay.
your water consumption and everything. Overspray and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the wheels are clean. And I just sprayed it and rinsed it. Like I sprayed it or foamed it and then I rinsed it.
That's what I think Serena said to do. You don't have to
Like I could clean them. I will next time. But for this test, that's it. And I'll get a chair.
a little rolly thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have a chair when I do it next time. Okay. And I'll probably get a wand to reach across the roof to rinse. And electric blower. The drying towels are good, but I think I need an electric blower. Okay. 50 foot was good on the hose.
So you don't need a different one?
No. This hose is good. Okay. It was this hose that I wanted, but Home Depot doesn't have a short one anyway. Okay. So I just need to get something to roll it up in. Mm-hmm. And I'll just leave it there, pull out what I need and just quick connect it. That's it.
Okay. Well, they have the little roller things at Home Depot also.
I might just get the box because it's not like there's 50 feet of hose there. I only need 10.
Yeah.
So I don't need it to really roll anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to move it from there.
That's true. The box looks good or better.
Yeah.
Check them out. Okay.
But yeah,
I'm glad you're happy with it.
thank you. And this is where we are for now, folks. As far as storage goes, that's it contained right there. I would really like it to be like right here. So I'm going to brainstorm on that. And, but at the end of the day, it's just connect the garden hose, connect the pressure washer hose, fill the foam cannon and let her rip.